way back in high school, what happened was that many years before then, my dad had separated with my wife, with my mom, and so when it was time for me to go for high school, my brothers, 4 brothers in particular, they promised that they were going to take care of the fees and maybe the clothing that I needed when I'm in high school. But when I got to high school, a few months into high school, I realized that was not happening. I was actually fired from, or chased from school several times. And, but I kept on going home and coming back, going to see them, coming back. Nothing was working out. Until the big brother, the eldest in the family, decided that he was going to pay all the fees. But then that means I didn't have the other bills to be covered. So I went back to school. And then when I got there, I decided I'm not going to fail. I'm not going to give up. Instead, that's going to be my why. My why will be never to be in the same situation that I was then, right? So that pushed me to study very hard. And then, even when I came to business, I used the same strategy, okay? I get a why, and I push myself because of that why. Then the next one that's coming up now that I think will help you in your business is you need to focus. You need to focus, right? Now, when I was in high school, I'll go back again to the same story because I learned more from those stories. When I was in high school, when I was going through all that, one of the things that I faced was that I had to focus. And I want you to imagine with me, right? Here is me in high school in Africa, and I don't have much clothes, with torn shoes, and in my country, Botswana in particular, temperatures can go below 0. So there were times when it was very, very cold. But when it was cold like that, I had to focus. I still had to focus and work hard in my education. So how did I do that? I learned how to block off anything that will just interrupt my attention. So I blocked all the cold. Imagine blocking cold, right? And it's very cold. You still have to block it, right? So it's the hardest thing you can ever do. So the same thing applies to business. When it comes to business, you got to stay focused. Block everything else. Block all what the friends are saying, maybe even sometimes relatives, family, whoever may be saying anything. Block it off and focus on what you have decided to do, or what you want to create, or what you want to achieve, or what you want your business to be. That's one of the things that I learned there, and hopefully, if you use the same. And then the next thing that I learned actually was this one, motivation. Learn to find, actually that quote there, it got cut off when I was doing this video. It said, pain is temporary, quitting lasts forever. So the forever is cut off, but I left it like that for interesting, right? So one of the things that you got to do is to find some motivation. Actually, motivation besides your why, I think motivation is the next thing, right? Because without motivation, you can't move. I remember when I was in high school, again, one of the things that motivated me so much was actually my mom. You see, when I was growing up, my mom used to tell me that, my mom is not, she didn't tell me, but she's just that character. When you come to my mom and say, Mom, you know, one day I want to fly an aeroplane. She say, yes, you can do it, right? So every time I get stuck in life, I always remember those words, that I can do it, no matter what, everything I can do it, right? And the next person that really motivated me actually, in high school again, was a teacher in high school. This guy was one of those guys that, you know, he would address us at assembly. And every time he addresses us, his eyes, in fact, every time I've ever seen him, his eyes were always red. Red like he'd been taking some drugs or taking some ganja, right? He would just stand there in front of us and bellow and tell us how he used to when he was in high school, how he used to work so hard. He would literally put his feet in cold water when he feels sleepy, and he would read and read until he collapses, right? So I was listening to this guy, and this guy was inspiring me so much. You can imagine, again, that story alone tells you of one thing. Motivation, it depends on you. Something that motivates me might not be something that motivates you. So this guy was motivating me. So I went out there and I crushed everything that I could. I worked so hard. Every time I feel tired, I remember that guy. But I've never been so tired that I had to use the cold bucket like he used to do. But it inspired me. So find motivation. Like where we are right now, the IMN is a very inspirational place because you meet other millionaires and you network and they inspire you. So if this is your inspiration place, then be here all the time. I'll be here as much as you could. Be motivated. And find other motivational things that motivate. Sometimes it's just seeing other successful people, just seeing them. I know the times when I see some of the big guys like from America and all over the place, when I just see them there, I get inspired. I feel like I'm getting there, I better go there. Right, so let's go to the next one if we can. Right, the next one is find a mentor or a coach. A mentor is more like what we see there. It's somebody who will pull you up and help you to not fall maybe in that gap there. A mentor is somebody who will take you where you've never been before. So whatever you do, make sure you have mentors around you. You don't have to have one person. You can have as many as you want, depending on what you want to be mentored on. The first time I actually experienced mentorship is when I was, again, in high school. So my life really was made when I was in high school because that was the toughest life. I've never gone through any tough life anywhere else in my life as much as I did when I was in high school. So when I was in high school, I realized because I decided that I was going to be one of the best students in the school, but yet I didn't know how to do it. Education or studying in normal education, it was more like business because you go to a school, right? Nobody ever teaches you how to study. Everybody just say, work hard. Say, how do I work hard? Hard! So you get there, you're supposed to work hard, and you don't know what to do. Same thing with business. They go there, they say, come on, make your business work. How do I do it? Just get it working. So I go there, so I was struggling with a subject called maths or mathematics. Right? I was struggling with this subject. What was happening was that I thought I was very good in this subject, right? So good that I expected to get at least 90 something, 80 something, some big mark, right? But every time I go to write a test or exam, I'll get something like 50% up to 57, between 50 and 57. I'm like, what's going on? So I struggled with that for a little while. Then one day I decided to go and see my teacher, who became a mentor there. I went to see him and I said, how can I improve on this thing? I'm trying to do my best, but I can't get any more than 57%. What he said to me was very interesting. He told me, go take the textbook that you use for maths. I want you to study everything in it, from the beginning up to the end. Do not wait for your teacher. Just go ahead of everyone else, and make sure every single question, you master it, you do it over and over and over again. You practice as much as you can. When you do that, you're going to get very good marks. He spent with me 5 minutes, right? And that 5 minutes changed my life, because after that, I worked so hard. Within 3 months, I was getting between 90 and 100. Since then, up to university, I kept that mark. And that was something that really changed my life. From that also, I began to apply the same principles to other subjects. And that really that changed my life. So a mentor or a coach will change your life. Let's go to the next one. Now this one is exciting because that's what holds a a lot of business people, right? Burn the bridges behind you, right? So when it comes to business, learn how to never look back again. Burn the bridges. In other words, once you start, I'm going to do this thing, go ahead, do it until it's done. If it's not done, don't stop. You can change your strategies on the way, but do not change. Because what destroys a lot of people is that they start off something, and then when they hear pressure, their friends, relatives, or whoever is saying something, they just quit and leave it. And because of that, they lose a lot of opportunities. So burn all those bridges, start and never stop again. Just keep going until you win. Right. So let me see how much time I have. I think I have a little bit of time, because after this, I think it will be my final slide. I'm going to give you one more tool that I think will help you. And that is, whatever you do in business, remember that you are responsible for society. Give to society, give back. Give to those charities, give to those, wherever you need to be helped out there, go and help out. It's very important. Why? Because, you see, when you do those kind of things, God in heaven looks down. He's always looking for those cool guys and girls that are doing cool things. And every one of them that is doing cool things, He blesses them with more. That's from me, by the way. Nobody else says so the final slide now is all about where you can contact me. That's my name there, Adrian Manyathelo, and you can find me mostly, the easiest way to get me actually is on Facebook. And also if you want to see my works, I have actually a very good following on social media. YouTube, almost every media. But if you want to contact me directly, just to chat with me or to say something, Facebook is the best place to go. Just catch me on Messenger and I'll be able to talk to you. Thank you so much for listening to me tonight.
Well done. That was great.
Thank you.
I think the one when I looked at Adrian's presentation, when I saw that one, burn your bridges, I could just feel my body go, no, don't do that. But you're so right, sometimes you have to do that to actually move forward. And sometimes what happens as well, life will burn them for you if you don't want to listen. So I think that was a great